Hello and welcome. You're listening to Marketing Matters on the Wharton Podcast Network, our weekly podcast where we analyze the latest in advertising, marketing, customer behavior, retailing, new product launches, branding. I'm Barbara Kahn, the Patty and J.H. Baker Professor of Marketing, and I'm joined by my co-host, Americus Reed, the Whitney M. Young Jr. Professor of Marketing and the Brand Identity Theorist. Hello, Americus.
Hi, Barbara. Barbara Kahn, you are the wizard of the seventh floor. I have a question for you. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah?
Okay. What do the K-pop Demon Hunters, Wednesday Addams, Elphaba and Glinda, the Chicken Jockey, and Labubu have in common?
I am guessing that they are trendy Halloween costumes. Are they?
You are 100% correct. And of course, you know what I'm going to ask you because you are the wizard of the seventh floor. So what have we got that could possibly plug me in to the latest and greatest knowledge of Halloween commerce in the world?
We have Mr. Halloween himself,
Yes.
Steven Silverstein, who's the CEO of Spencer's Spirit Holdings. Well, and what's particularly relevant today is Spirit, which is popping up all over everybody's cities everywhere. Amazingly, they just appear because it's the witching hour. We're just days before Halloween. So,
Nice.
Stephen, we are so happy every year to have you come back and tell us the greatest, best news about Halloween, what's in, what's out, how we can win this holiday. Welcome to the show.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
One of the things I've noticed, like every year when I walk around in Philly and look at the Halloween decorations, it just seems to me, and you'll have the numbers to tell whether this is true or not, because this is just anecdotal, that people are getting into Halloween more and more and more every year. It's kind of like, when it used to be Christmas shopping used to start in July. Now, like it seems like Halloween decorations start in September and people start planning their parties and all. And I imagine even before Halloween itself, people are wearing costumes to parties and things like that. So is it that Halloween has become a month-long holiday?
Well, look, it definitely is taking much deeper roots across many different demographics, and so it really is sort of this universal experience that everybody seems to be looking for, and it seems to happen at just the right time. You have that opportunity. The leaves are turning; it's a little crispy, and boy, Halloween is on everybody's mind right now, and I think about people participating in it. You talk about decorating, but parties, parades, trunk or treats, lots of different, varieties. And that's what makes it so fun, so much fun is, you can do it a little, you can do it a lot, and there are no gifts involved. So it's, that's
Yeah,
really
that's a good, but let me, like just about the timing. So I know, and we've had you on the show before, but I can't guarantee that every year people listen, the same people listen. So they may not understand your business model, which is these stores pop up.
Yep.
Just at the right time. And they're always in a different place, even though you come back to Philly all the time and you have more than one, and they're just never in the same place. And so, like, in thinking about when the holiday starts and when you start planning, when do your stores open? And is that the same date? And how do you do all of that? Or
Yeah,
do they
yeah.
open like fully? Do you like gear up? Like, how does that all work?
Is that just one question?
Yeah.
Yes, start with
Yes
question
or
number
no?
4A,
Yes.
subpart C.
Well, let's start with the fact that we're 24/7, 365 Halloween. So we've got about 500 people that are full year-round employees of Spirit Halloween, and it is more than a year-round process. You can't do what we do just by popping up. It's not just a good idea. It's something that's got to be planned at a great detail level and engineered right down to sort of the minute. But as far as the question you're asking, so the stores physically begin opening the beginning of August.
Oh,
And this year we'll have 1,546. We have 1,546 locations across the United States and Canada.
Hmm.
And the opening process takes to get to that number. We're staging through that. We get them all open pretty much by the middle of September. So it's pretty much a 6-week process to get all those locations open. But it is definitely a year-round process to be hiring, to be buying, to be planning, to be merchandising, etc. And so we open August 1st. Generally speaking, that is our grand opening. This year was a little different because of some of the challenges we had with the supply chain. But we intend to open on August 1st, and we close November 1st or 2nd.
Wow, that's
wow.
incredible. I just want to jump in really quickly, Barbara, because I want to build on your point. You were asking a very important tactical question here. I also want to step back, Stephen, because today in my class I was speaking on startups and pop-up stores as a mechanism to help build the brand, and I was mentioning you and the OG. Stephen, you are the original guy. You are the OG of the pop-up stores. And so build on Barbara's point about all of these years, there's an institutional knowledge that you
Yeah.
have been building and accruing, and how that is like leading you to being more and more efficient doing this over time. That must be a huge advantage that is almost impossible to copy. Speak a little bit on that.
Yeah, I mean, so I personally have been working with this team for over 20 years. And I've been in retail for longer than that, and around retail for a long time. And I'll tell you, you're on a very significant aspect of how we've gotten to where we are is this constant challenge to improve and re-engineer and rewrite the scripts. The beauty of this as a retailer is every year we get to start over.
Mm.
And so,
I guess that's a beauty.
well, that's the challenge, but it is the
Yeah,
beauty because
Yeah.
we have the ability to, sort of incrementally every year add new levels of performance and, sort of learn from what we have done in the past and where the opportunities are. And, I was just on the phone today with my partner talking about this past weekend, our biggest weekend, what some of the observations were and where the opportunities are. And I was very excited because, I was listing 12 or 15 different things that, boy, we could really improve upon because it all happens so fast that you
Mhm.
can't
yeah.
really, you can't really make those adjustments while we're in the game. But after the postscript really starts to be, when we're working on next year and the year after that. And, we joked about AI a little bit, but we're very excited about the possibilities that AI will bring to improve our performance because part of this 1,546 locations opening up is really the ability to sort of see at a detail level, kind of where we might be going off script or where we might be going off the rails because there's a lot of things happening all at once.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to and when we can visualize those details, we will actually significantly improve our overall
So let me ask you a couple questions. There's so many things I want to ask you, but
I
let
know.
me just start with one. Let's start with the AI thing. One of the things people say about AI is that it helps you microsegment more.
Yeah.
Mm.
How different are your stores and all these? I mean, you have all these stores, it's all happening at once. Can you use AI to, like maybe in California, they like, Gavin Newsom costumes and who knows?
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I'm not thinking about that so much right now because, to get to the product side, that's even a higher level of sophistication than I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you think about this store opening process,
Yeah.
we really engineer each day, the steps you take each day that lead
Mm.
to the next day and the next day and the number of people and the hours and what should be accomplished. And so it's really going through that microscope of the process and are these stores on track? Are they
And
keeping
all
up
the
with it?
stores must be different too. I mean,
Well, they're
all the
different sizes and shapes, so that's one of
Yep.
the things that's a variation, but, you've just got a lot of activity
Mhm.
that you are and in many cases, you say we're in different places every year. Actually, about 35% of the time, we're in the same location.
Oh
And when
my
Mm,
I say
God,
the same
really?
location, I know it won't feel like you because the truth is, what I call the same location, you wouldn't. If I'm in the same strip center, I call that the same location. So
gotcha.
that may be cheating a little bit, but
Uh,
it's at least we're in approximately the same location. But no, we close every single store and we reopen it. So every year there's got to be an ability to, sort of
incredible.
reorient and recover. But the other side of this is we're trying to make it very a simple, straightforward process. You just keep it absolutely,
Mm,
as much cookie cutter as we possibly can. I know that doesn't sound great, but to
uh,
do this 1,550 times,
yep.
it really helps.
Right.
Well, I
Right.
want to build on something else. You said you've been in retail forever, and you started like at Bloomingdale's and Macy's and in
Right.
real traditional retail.
Yep.
And then I guess the biggest one was when you were in linens and what
And
linen
things.
what's it called?
Linens and
Linens?
things. Yeah.
Linens and things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, is
Awesome.
that still around? Is that
No, no, no.
no, yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
but so like I've heard you say this that you believe in as much as you can probably buy these costumes online on Amazon, I
Mm,
imagine,
You
but
can't.
you believe in the value of the physical store. And what you're talking about
yep.
is like really digging into the value of this physical store if
100%.
you're going into all of this effort to get them
Uh,
all up.
there's no question. No, you can't buy these costumes online because we're almost call it 100% vertical. We're not, but we have most of what we do, we make and source and design and direct. So yeah, you can buy them from me online or buy them from Spirit online, but it's not, there's not
Interesting.
a big marketplace for the things that we're doing. And, sort of particularly now as we get into the last week and you say, this is the triple witching hour. Well, you got that party and you got to have that costume. Are you really
yep.
going to trust it? Is it going to get there on time? And
Yep.
so we really go right up to the very end. And if you go into our stores this Thursday and Friday, I guarantee you there will be a line from the front to the back. But the other part of it is not just about the last minute shopping. I make a very big distinction from my own experience that walking into a Spirit Halloween store is in and of itself a Halloween experience. It's
Yep.
immersive. It's appealing to your five senses. It puts you into a Halloween mood. It gives you all kinds of ideas. It's a social experience. It's a human experience. You take your selfies. You try on the mask. It's a joy, and so it's I kind of say you can
Exactly.
buy online, but you shop in a store. And shopping in a
Wow.
Halloween store in particular is a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, let me jump in on build on Barbara's point too, because Barbara is one of the gurus of customer experience. She talks about this all. She preaches about this. Okay, she's like a,
Right.
she's in the pulpit preaching about this. And what I love about what you do, and talk on this, Stephen, because there's a HR issue here that's so critical for the stores, right? If it's going to be an immersive experience, you got to walk in, and the people that are representing the people that are the stewards of spirit, they got to be in alignment with all of the things that create the organizational culture that you have sort of built. And so, talk about how to make sure that when Americus and Barbara walk into the store, the people who greet them are in alignment with the experience that you're trying to portray for us.
Yeah, it's a huge point, 100%. It's a joyful experience, and that joy is infectious. And people generally who are working in that store are in some way really connected to Halloween and specifically to Spirit Halloween and what we do. And I'll just mention one thing that really I think represents our heart, and I think is representative of why Spirit Halloween is sort of a different experience, a different brand. We've been working since 2006 on a program that we call Spirit of Children. And what we do through our people, and the reason this is successful is because our frontline really believe in the importance of Spirit of Children. For Spirit of Children, we take donations on behalf of local children's hospitals,
Oh.
specifically the Child Life Department. So in Philadelphia,
Mhm.
Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, CHOP, we've raised over $1 million through this
Oh,
this
wow.
program that
Wow.
goes directly
Impressive.
to the hospitals. And not only that, but we throw a Halloween party in the hospital
Oh,
itself. We bring
nice.
costumes and art projects and music, and it's not it's this is what I call our heart because they know that their work is really giving something back to the communities that they're in. And many people talk about that connection as one of the things that really makes them feel good about working for Spirit Halloween. And to date, we've raised over $150 million for 160 hospitals since the program started. This year, we'll raise close to $20 million. We're donating at least $100,000 to each of our partner hospitals. And it's because of the people on the front line. It is not, there's nothing
I see.
self-serving in business. This is absolutely because these people, and if you go into the store, and I hope you do, every time we get a donation, we ring a cowbell. And I can tell you that story a long way ago, but that bell should be ringing. And it's just an indication of, it's the period on the end of the
Love it.
sentence. You've had a great
Mm.
experience in the store. You come in and would you, sort of support the children in the hospital in your community? And we do that
Uh-huh.
all on grassroots. That's all
Mm.
done internally. It's all done by our people. So I think that's representative of immense,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
amazing.
Amazing.
Talking about the labor issue, for any retail, that's a huge issue. You have so much turnover in-store employees. It's a really hard thing to manage. And here you have this thing where the stores open and close. But given that that happens, I think you said in past years that you have
Mhm.
people who come back
Mhm.
all the time.
to your stores.
Loyalists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the time.
Mhm.
We hire 50,000 people for this endeavor. And the DM level, that's the district store manager. They manage 3 stores or so.
Oh.
We have over 400 and change, 400 people there. 70+% of those come back to us every year.
Wow.
And I think, sort of it's indicative of where their heads are at. We're kind of a part of the gig economy. You mentioned Christmas. People come to work for us. They get Christmas money without having to work for Christmas. And
Mm.
it's just it's a combination of a lot of factors. But yes, people come back to us year after year.
Which is amazing given that it's hard in retail in general, and you're making it even harder by, making it up. But you're mentioning Christmas, so we gotta say, you mentioned this, that you've done it you were doing it before, this isn't the first year you thought about it, but you said you've been asked a million times, "Why don't you just do another holiday?" And you've dug into Christmas, right? So,
Yeah. What's the story there?
mentally, what's happening?
Yeah, I like to say if I had a nickel for every time somebody asked me that question, I had a whole bunch of nickels. But so 5 million nickels is still a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I'll take
Um,
it.
yeah. So yes. What's really different now? First of all, Christmas is a very
Mm.
competitive environment. All right,
Mm.
we don't just by magic deserve to be in the Christmas business. I always feel like if you're going to bring something to to the competitive world, you got to have a reason. And what's the
Right.
reason that the guest can articulate as to why are you there?
Mm.
And so what kind of took us so long is we couldn't really answer that question.
Wait, let me just
What was our
back up on
value
one thing.
proposition? Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. What you're saying is Christmas is a way more competitive market than the Halloween market.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah,
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 I just want
interesting.
to
yeah.
make sure
Way
I
Interesting.
more,
understood that.
way more. Because look,
Yeah.
there's a lot of really good people and who make a pretty big commitment
Yeah.
to Christmas from
Yeah.
the mass.
100%.
So you got to bring something. We got to bring something, and we couldn't really answer that question. What was our value proposition? And so, but the landscape has changed. And the landscape of Christmas, particularly what we call the curated specialty Christmas market, where you
Mm.
had people like Pier One, or you had even Bed Bath and Beyond, who were there, sort of in the mid to better market, not in the commodity world. To me, so what we came up with was we're sugar and spice and everything nice, and emphasis on the spice.
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is we want it to be a fun store. Just like we talk about Halloween, fun it's so much fun, it's scary. Christmas has got to be so much fun, it's merry. And so that's
Cute.
where we are going with
That's
it.
good. Yeah.
And but very much testing this. We don't
Gotcha.
you walk in and we don't have the ego or the arrogance to believe that we're just gonna
Mm.
storm this and not
Yeah.
really earn it. So
Yeah.
we have we had 8 locations last year. We have 30 locations this year, mainly in
Nice.
the Northeast, but as far west as Chicago.
Interesting.
We're going to learn
Yeah.
and understand how we can, sort of bring something that'll be meaningful to this event as well.
So what are you selling? Is it is it Christmas gifts,
It's
decoration?
it's it's a combination. Again, a curated assortment, so there's
Mm.
anything specialty. We're trying to bring something special, and it's fun. We have a couple of categories that we're really digging into, decor being one of them.
Mm.
Um, but also based on our sort of Spencer roots, we have a lot of
Ah,
wearables and fun family attire, everything from sleepwear and loungewear to outrageous sweaters. That's where a lot of the spice
Right,
is.
right, of course,
there you
it's
go.
costume.
But they
Yeah.
are over the top. I mean,
Over the
you
top.
go in
Yeah.
there, I guarantee it's over the top. There's sound, they're ugly, they're
Yeah.
outrageous, but they also have sound and lights. They're gonna be
Yeah.
audacious and
Wow.
outrageous.
Oh, that
But
makes so much sense, and that differentiates you. And
yes.
when we do Christmas morning, my kids have to get into these ugly pajamas, so it's not
Yeah.
just ugly sweaters.
Right.
It's all Instagram has asked you to be I don't know who
Yes.
started this crazy thing, but it does seem to be a thing.
Yes, that's interesting. But so Stephen, because this is Barbara's making a very important point here, which is, and I want to pull this back into our world, Barbara, which is the world of brand extension,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right? And sort of thinking through like, what do we have a permission structure to actually go do based on the equity? I love what
right, that
Barbara's pointing out.
custom costume.
Yeah, and the fact that you're pulling in a little bit of the Spencer's DNA in there, that the fun, speak on that because obviously you went from 8 to 30. That's like
Yeah.
4x.
Yeah.
So you learned something.
Yeah,
So
the
But do
tell us
you
what
think
you.
people know Spirit and Spencer are connected? Do they know
No,
that?
no, they don't, and in fact, it doesn't matter because these Spencers. So yes, Americus, you're right on target here. I kind of say in the background, this is if Spencers and Spirit had a baby, they had Spirit Christmas. So,
Nice,
and when you
nice.
said talk about brand extension, and that's a really very very good point. Even the times before where we had tried a sort of post Halloween strategy, we never were willing to put the Spirit name on it because we weren't going to attach that until we really had felt
Mm,
we had a concept that could be related
'Cause
to
it's such a
what our
valuable
Spirit
brand.
Halloween
That's
brand
to your
value.
point,
Yeah,
absolutely,
I'm
Americus.
never going to put that
yeah,
that brand is platinum plus, and we're never going to do anything to really. We don't want to disappoint. We don't want people coming in there like thinking that we're just being opportunistic or that we're just
No, no,
mailing it
yeah,
in. We
absolutely.
can't
That's the
mail it
spirit
in.
meme, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, to your point, Barbara, why would someone come to a store? Because we make it worth their while. Because
mhm.
it's a destination form of use of time, entertainment, immersive, etc. And so all of that is part of the Christmas execution as well.
So where's the Spencer piece of it? So, like, that's like the wink?
So the Spencer's is to America's
Wink, wink.
point, where we emphasize the humor. It's sort of
Yeah,
finding the humor in some of the, as I say, some of the spice that's in the sugar and spice. And so Spencer's has that pop culture kind of
big time,
DNA that
big
that
time.
we share with
It's a fun
Spirit.
sport.
Yeah,
And
we
so
we all have our
when he was going down to all the way down to Labubu, yeah, you're really hitting the heart of
yeah,
pop
yeah.
culture.
We all have our Spencer stories from high school. All of us, man. It's an awesome, awesome brand.
We'll keep them to ourselves.
We will.
Well,
I'm going to
how
my
does it
grave
work
with my Spencer
operationally?
secrets.
You
Yeah.
close Spirit Halloween on November 1st or 2nd, and
Right.
is it that was it called Spirit Christmas? Is it
Yes,
in
it
the
is.
same store?
So
And
Spirit
then is it like one day or a week or how
We will be open by the following Friday. So that's when. So
Yes.
that's the 6th. We
wow.
actually, if you're gonna, in all honesty, we actually have 5 open right now,
Gotcha.
because we wanted to get a jump on the schedule a little bit. So
Got
we
it.
have 5 that are open, and we'll open 25 by Friday, November 6th.
I mean, you're talking about supply
Incredible.
chain, merchandise. I can't picture it. I mean, because you have a lot of
That-
SKUs.
Yeah.
I mean, how
This
does
is
that
Barbara.
you,
This
you
is the
come
this is
down
the
and take
pop
a
up.
tour.
This is the pop up Jedi. I mean, are you kidding? Like this guy has. I mean, come on, cut it out.
I invite you to come on down, see what we're doing back there.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we to reveal one issue, we've already sent the merchandise to the stores. So the stores that are converting have already got the merchandise there, and that will be,
So
so
are there, like,
yes.
back stores in these stores? There's little,
Well, there's yeah, there's stock
restaurant
room.
or something?
These are larger stores, so they tend to have, other than the
Uh-huh.
5 we opened prior to
Or any in
Halloween.
Philly? Any Christmas ones in Philly?
We'll be in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill.
Yep.
Nice.
It's worth a
Nice.
trip.
It's
Yeah,
worth it.
absolutely. Little trek over the bridge. That's incredible. Yeah. That is
Well, good
awesome.
luck with that. I love the idea of it's gotta be different, and I
Mm.
love the idea that it's I like it that Spirit and Spencer had a baby, I just love that.
I love that
But
too. That
but
is
it's
awesome.
true, like, it is amazing this Instagram culture and how all this stuff it's very experiential, but you need to buy things to fit into the experience.
Yep.
So you take the experience home with you.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, look, we very much tap into social media. That is very much a part of our, strategy in terms of, how our conversation, how are we communicating with our fans, and sort of what are
You
they
know,
saying
it's like
about us?
I'm
Yep.
curious then, because we talked to Duolingo when the guy told us what his social media
Yeah.
strategy was, and I'll tell you what he said, and then you tell
Okay.
me what you do. He said he hired a creative person
Mhm.
and then just let her go, but
Mm.
they test, 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 test.
Mm.
Mm.
So, it is science, but
Yeah.
he doesn't tell her what to do, but
Yeah.
they test what works and what doesn't.
Mm.
Do you remember Americus? Isn't that kinda
Yeah.
what he said?
That's kinda what he said. Yeah. 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 So what is the, because also to build on Barbara's point, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the Spirit social media team is like, they'll clap back at you, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
They're not weeping willows.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, look, your best advocates are the fans themselves. So the best clapbacks actually come from the people who are defending us, and that really becomes very authentic.
Mhm.
But yeah, when SNL did a little thing, we came
Yep.
back a little bit, but
Yep.
that's part of it. We're very fluid. It's
Yeah.
very much a part of our, branding to sort of be in that zeitgeist. And we certainly can't buy it, but we're certainly willing to be a part of the joke, and a part of the fun. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, we're certainly in no way buttoned down about it, to the point that some of this comes from out of the blue. Like, we had no idea that SNL thing was happening. We
Yeah.
had no idea. I don't know whether you saw a Naked Gun 4. They unraveled the banner. We have no idea when these late night guys go and they hang the banner on Yankee Stadium, or on the Capitol, or on
That's amazing.
the Veteran Stadium when Phillies lost. This is, but that's, just
Yeah.
keep the conversation going,
Yeah. Yeah.
and sort of have a let it fly.
The brand is part of culture. I love this, Stephen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And that's when it's authentic, and the
Yeah.
fact that the people are local, the charity is local, the
Yep.
stores are local. Yeah,
100%.
it's authentic. That's the
Nice to
magic word in social media.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, Stephen, we are out of time. Thank
Oh
you
my
so much
god!
for
Already?
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. So where can our listeners know to go to find out where the stores are, or if they wanna buy online?
Well, you can still buy online, but it's gonna be a little dicey.
Maybe you should
SpiritHalloween.com.
go to the store. Yeah.
SpiritHalloween.com, and there's a store locator there. There's a little arrow, and pop the arrow. It'll give you a store locator. We have 5 more days? 5 or 6
Mhm.
more days.
Mhm.
So, if you're last minute, just prepare to dance while you're in line, because the music will be good, I promise you that.
Marcus, do you have your costume?
I'm still struggling, Stephen. I'm a little bit late this year, so I have not picked out my costume yet. Barbara, how about you, Barbara?
No, I haven't yet either. I
Yeah.
might use the
Oh,
one I bought last year. I keep mine.
Okay.
That's the thing. I think everybody thinks you need a new costume, but like,
Uh-huh.
I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess it is about variety. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, thank you so much, Mr. Halloween, for being here with
We
us.
appreciate you.
And I can't imagine, but you're not very busy right now. So thanks for taking the time.
love
Yep,
you guys.
100%.
See you
Thank you
later.
so
Happy
much, Stephen.
Halloween, everybody.
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
to you as well, sir. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. That's all we have time for today. Thank you for listening. We'd like to thank our producers, Dion Simpkins and Marissa Renna, and we'll be back next week. Till then, this has been Marketing Matters on the Wharton Podcast. I'm Barbara Kahn, here with Americus Read.